The fact that even when you search the whole entire universe, you can only find one of you. I know that's deep. Let me just break it down for you so that you understand what I'm saying. In the whole universe, the fingerprints that you have only belong to you and only you alone. That must tell you something about how special you are in the whole, bigger scheme of things. Now, the more that you try to copy someone else, copycatting someone else, implicate like you are walking like someone else, you are robbing the world of a version of you that it needs. You are not blessed in this world by mistake. And I see a lot of people having low self-esteem on themselves, thinking that they're not good enough, thinking that someone else might do better than them, and that which they need to offer is not good enough. And what do? They then walk out of trying to offer what they need to offer, that which they feel they need to offer, and they try to, copy someone else and think that is going to be enough for them. Now, just because your whole family are doctors doesn't mean that you're supposed to be a doctor. Doesn't mean that your parents are supposed to force you to become a doctor as well. Because we have doctors who could have made better footballers, but because their brother were doctors and they were earning money better than footballers at the time, they were forced to become doctors as well. And these doctors are walking around not being the best versions of themselves. You need to dare to be different. That is the whole purpose of this video. That is why we are here today. You need to dare to be different. You need to choose your own path and walk on it and do the best that you can do on that path. Now, an example is given of Peter. Records say that Peter walked on water. He walked on water because of two things, and I'm going to mention them in this video. Him walking on water doesn't mean that he was the only one on the boat. Remember, there were 12 of them disciples. And when Jesus approached this boat, Peter was the only one who dared to be different, who dared to ask for something that the 11 others did not ask for. And for that reason, this day today, we have history that says that Peter managed to defy the laws of physics and he did not sink in a liquid. He walked on water. Had he stayed in the boat like everyone else, had he started to ask questions and say, Ish, look, man, if Andrew is not going to ask for this thing, why should I do it? But something in him told him that he can do it, and he finally managed to walk on water. So dare to be different, and great things will happen in this life. The reason why you always feel empty and feel like you're not fulfilling the best of things that you can fulfill is because you're doing something that the universe is not acknowledging. You're doing something that someone else has already done. You're doing something that, the one that you're copying is the one who was given this skill to do the thing that you're trying to do. And that which you're supposed to do is lying dormant. And you're thinking you're doing the best you can do, but you're actually not doing the best that you can do. So that's the very reason why I'm recording this video today. Had Peter, so now we want to use the narrative of Peter. Peter took the first step into the water. No one else took the first step, and no one else walked on it. You need to take the first step, my brother. You need to take the first step, my sister. This has to be done. You have to take the first step into that which the most difficult of things to be done by humanity has to be done, and you are the only person who can do it. Don't be afraid to go another way just because everyone else thinks that this is the way to go and you also follow them. Narrow is the path which leads people and narrow and difficult is the path which leads people to heaven. But wide and many walk therein is the path that leads people to hell. So this on its own tells you that you need to understand that the masses are not always right. A large number of people, just because a large number of people believe one thing doesn't mean that that thing is right. It doesn't mean that thing is supposed to be followed. It doesn't mean that thing is supposed to be reverenced. It doesn't mean that thing is correct. So if you know that something is right, even when you're the only one in the room who's saying this thing is right, and if you're convinced in your mind that it is right, and God is approving you of your path, that that's what you're doing is right. I don't see a reason why you shouldn't follow the masses. I don't see a reason why. The problem we're having is we're trying to fit in. Fitting in has destroyed a lot of dreams. You know, you wanted to play a guitar, but they looked at you and say, music has no money, bruh. Who knows, you're supposed to be the next Michael Jackson, but because, you know, you're brainwashed by people that are not living your life. The challenge is we're taking advice from people that are not living our lives. We are the ones who understand this life. We're the ones who know what we need to do in these lives. And the only conviction that you can have is the conviction that comes from within. And that is the challenge. Do not listen to someone else who's not in your shoes. Dare to be different. Like a Daniel, in a place where everybody is normalizing, you know, eating whatever, he purposed in his heart to say, I don't want to eat this. He dared to be different. And on the other side of daring to be different lies greatness. All people that I'm speaking about, all people that I'm giving examples of, all of them, when they dared to be different, they, on the other side, managed to have greatness. The three Hebrew boys, when everyone was kneeling to the statue that Nebuchadnezzar had made, they didn't kneel. They became ministers, and they managed to walk on fire. Everybody who kneeled didn't have an experience that they had. Dare to be different.